I dream too much. I tell myself that I can't stop. We could see clearly now. We could see clearly now. That I can't stop. We could see clearly now. We could see clearly now. We could see clearly now. Clearly now. Clearly now. We could see clearly now. We could see clearly now. We could see clearly now. I smoke too much. I drink too much. I tell myself that I can't stop. We could see clearly now. 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 Clearly now. Clearly now. We could see clearly now. We could see clearly now. We could see clearly now. That I can't stop. We could see clearly now. We could see clearly now. I can't stop. We could see clearly now. We could see clearly now.
man, you got to have that time where you just like disconnect from the scene, just the race. Like, and it's a race that I've created in my head, you know? But you have to step away from it.
Welcome to the Reverie Esports Open number 63. I'm your caster, Effect FX. I'll be casting again solo this week. My co-caster is still on vacation in Central America, but he should be back next week if everything goes according to plan. To start off the evening, we have 20-minute notifications. It's an unusual name. Facing off against Reverie Esports. That's blue side and red side, respectively. On the side of 20-minute notifications, we have Graves starting off as a ban. A little interesting choice. We see him on and off as a jungler. Usually we see mostly Rek'Sai, Gragas. Elise and Graves are probably in the same realm of pick. I'm trying to think of anything else jungle-wise that shows up, but Rek'Sai just is practically in almost every game. Though these last few set of patches have kind of targeted him for minor nerfs here and there, both to his mobility and his durability. So we'll have to see if that affects his pick rate at all, at least in these tournaments. Also, there's going to be a targeted Cassiopeia ban, I imagine. Cassiopeia being one of those champions who can be really stupidly high DPS on a mage. She is, of course, a DPS mage, so that does make sense. Speaking of junglers, that is an Elise ban. That'll be interesting to see. Will we see a third jungler ban? No, we will see a Poppy ban, though. Another character we don't see quite as much anymore, even though it wasn't even a few months ago where Poppy was extremely popular after her rework, where she was super powerful. Go ahead and turn the music back on just a little bit. There we go. Because, of course, I am casting by myself, so I don't really have anyone to bounce anything off of, unfortunately. And that is going to be a Zac ban. So that is 3 jungler bans coming out of 20-minute notifications. That is very interesting. And they do have first picks, so technically they could pick their jungler first. So they could basically say, we have 4 junglers. There's a 4th jungler ban targeted at Rek'Sai. So what is Sacred Strike going to lock in here? I need to do a headset. My right ear is going out. It's very weird. Turn my volume up a little bit. There we go. Okay, they're still taking their time on their pick. They got a full 30 seconds left to decide what they want here. Do they pick a jungler to continue to try and lock out Treebeard? It's almost like Treebeard, but it has an A. I'm going to call him Treebeard anyways. And it's going to be Gragas. That is 5 junglers locked out from Treebeard. Actually, it's not even Gragas. Maybe it is Gragas. It's Lee Sin Gragas. And it's clearly going to be one of those picks. And Thresh. So they're leaving both Lee Sin and Gragas open. It's going to be interesting to see what... He's just going to go and pick a Hecarim instead. We saw quite a bit of Hecarim previously, but these last couple weeks we really haven't seen him. That's very interesting. And that is going to be Shen locked in. So they picked in her top right away. And on the other side we see Jeem hovering on the Olaf. Olaf is quite capable of being a nice little powerhouse that plows into the enemy team. Can be played mostly top lane, though we have seen him in the jungle in the past. And I think I've seen him in mid lane one time, but I don't remember if it was professional play line. That was a long time ago. Instead, he's going to be hovering on Aurelion Sol, the space dragon. Star dragon, I guess, is technically more appropriate. Definitely take his time on the pick, though. He doesn't want to rush anything, I imagine. What is your plan? They're also going to hover on Cho'Gath. Don't see as much Cho'Gath as... Never, actually, now that I think about it. We've never really seen Cho'Gath. But it is going to be Karma and Olaf. So that could be a support Karma. That's most typically where we see Karma played. Little Groot hovering on Aatrox. As much as I would love to see an Aatrox game, they already have both a top laner and a jungle, so it is simply not likely. They are hovering Aurelion Sol and Nunu. Aurelion Sol is definitely possible. They'd still need a mid laner. Could he be plate support? I don't think so. I would say no, probably. But they're going to be hovering on Victor now instead. Victor, of course, is one of the more powerful kind of mid-rangey mage picks. Has decent burst and is able to get away quite easily. Karma mid. That's right, I didn't even think about that. Thresh. So yeah, definitely Karma mid. You're right, Cuttlebun. I wasn't paying attention. So yeah. Don't see a lot of Karma mid, but we have seen her a little bit here and there. And of course, we have seen Karma mid in professional play. And on the other side, we are seeing that in Steel Do Trust is locking in Lissandra, and they're taking Lucian as their marksman. Nothing too surprising there. Lucian is still pretty much the go-to pick for marksman picks. He's not the strongest at any one thing, but he's just all extremely well-rounded. He's mobile, does good damage, has his ability to pick people off at range with the culling is always useful. As long as assuming they, of course, all the shots hit. Callista being hovered is an interesting pick because we don't see a lot of Callista anymore. Not after her little round of nerfs. And of course, that is going to be a Syndra mid. Karma top, you're right. Huh. They locked in Syndra, so that's going to be a Syndra mid. That's going to be a Karma top. I mean, guess maybe Karma jungle? We've seen it in the past. It's just really rare. And then it's going to be Jhin being locked in. And Braum being locked in. So, seeing as Jeem does have Ghost, that is most likely going to be Olaf jungle, and they have positioned themselves as such. So, in the top lane, we have Sacred Strike playing Karma top. Huh. The triple flex pick, yeah? That's definitely a flex pick. Top, middle, jungle. Actually, it's technically a quadra flex pick, though, like I said, we haven't seen a Karma jungle in forever. I think the last time was the one time it was played in professional play. It won that game, I think, if I remember correctly, but it's super rare. Huh. Yeah. So, Sacred Strike playing Karma top against Spectre CV on the Shen top. In the jungle, we do have Jeem on Olaf and Treebeard on Hecarim. In the mid lane, we have the Otaku on Syndra, and in CLG, we trust on Lissandra. And of course, last but certainly not least, in the bottom lane, we have Ken GG teaming up with Ching Bear playing. That's a terrible name, isn't it? Ugh. I'm just going to call him Bear. On Jhin and Thresh. We don't see a ton of Thresh as much as we used to, but he is still a very good pick in the right hands. And in the on the opposite side of the we have Little Groot playing Lucian, and his partner is Manbear Horsepig on Braum. It's an awesome name. Okay, that is going to be the lineups. Once again, this is our first semifinal match of the evening. This is a best of one with 20-minute notifications facing off against Reverie Esports. And let me refresh the bracket real quick before we get our little commercial break. It is on the opposite side is Team Permafrost facing off against Supernova Gemini. Supernova were the team that won last week, so this is their sister team. Let me double check last week's bracket to make sure that it is still Supernova. Yeah, it was still Supernova who won. Okay. So, with that, we are going to be taking a small, tiny commercial break. We'll be back as soon as possible. Basically, that is going to be once we're in game. And don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back. And we're back! First match of the evening, at least that we're casting. And I have a little icon that is in the way. How do I get rid of that? There it is. And right now we're seeing 20 notifications kind of spreading out, taking a more standard line of scrimmage, though Ken GG is a little late. Whereas Reverie Esports looking for a possible invade here. They do have some CC, but they are spotted out by the ward that they're able to pick up. They have the gold lead, 10 gold. And they're still going, though there is another ward in position to spot them out. And they drop a ward onto Krugs. And on the opposite side, we see 20 notifications has actually moved in position to take the enemy red buff. So far, Redbird doesn't know they're there, though. Though they are spreading out, making sure that there's no one in the blue side. And it looks like Treebeard's wanting to start at his own red. Of course, he's actually going to start at Krugs, and then works with red, probably. But that is going to prevent Jeem and Sacred Strike from stealing that red buff themselves. So, potential excitement there, but unfortunately, 20-minute notifications was completely ready for it, able to prevent any kind of easy, cheesy kills on them. And we see both bottom lanes are starting at camps, though Kenjiji and Chingbear only did the little Krug, not the big one. At least I think so. I'd have to actually check, but I doubt the camera's going to go that way. But we did see Little Groot and Man Bear Horse Pig do Gromp. So this is going to give them a little bit of an XP lead. And seeing that Little Groot has already hit level 2. I'm getting a nice little winner's bite on a Ken GG, but... And now both are level 2, but Chingbear is still level 1, so it is currently 2-2 and 2-1. Now this is a lane that I'm actually really interested in seeing, because I have no idea how well Spectre is going to do against Sacred Strike here on the Karma. There's a taunt, though. Get a nice little Shadow Dash. He's doing a lot of damage to Sacred Strike, but Sacred Strike sticking it out. He's using, oh man, what is the snare called? Now, I know the Mantra Snare heals for a percentage of maximum health damage. I don't remember. I know it heals, and it's based on health. I'm not sure if it's based on Karma's health or based on Shen's health, though. I want to say it's based on the target's health. I'd have to double check that. It's been a while. And it's not usually the mantra ability we see on a Karma. We usually see the upgraded shields or the upgraded Q. But if Sacred Strike can make sure that keeps a decent mana pool, it'll be a really big nuisance in that top lane. At least for the start of the game, but Shen's one of those characters that just builds a lot of defenses and eventually a big enough health pool and mana. Hello is going in again. Gets snared up, but still a favorable trade. Though Sacred is still winning in CS a little bit. It's about what you... Actually, probably decent considering that it is a range versus melee matchup. KenGG getting Shadow Strike, or Winter Bited again, gets stunned up. Is going to go down probably. There is First Blood going to Treebeard. He popped his heal, but he did not pop his flash. Seeing Man Bear, Horsepig is zoning out Chingbear a little bit. Spectre's trying to do his best to see us under turret here. He is a little bit behind, like I said before. Overall, he's doing pretty well, though. I'm very interested to see what he picks for his first item. If he goes to the Bambi Cinder to try and get some wave clear, or if he just goes straight into some magic resistance. another good... He's got really, really good Shadow Strikes. He's hit pretty much every single one, though he is going to get snared up again. Both Spectre and Sacred are extremely low. Actually, seeing Spectre is going to go him back. Kenji getting that dancing grenade. Actually managed to tickle Groot a little bit. And that is Spectre actually using his teleport. He is going for the early magic resistance. He's working towards that Spectral Cowl. Instead of going for the Bammy Cinder. He feels that there's enough damage there that he needs to get that. Nothing wrong with that. We're actually seeing... Sacred has back to it. Instead of using his TP, though, he is going to opt to walk back. He's taking boots and some AP. Looks like there's a little risk involved for him there. Oh, we're seeing a flash from Member Horsepig. Here is a gank by NCLG We Trust, using the Entomb to lock up that bottom lane. Kenji using his flash this time, but not able to get away. Saw Treebeard also showing up, but he was a little late to the party. But that is going to let them take this first dragon really easily. They have the pink ward down. It is an Infernal Drake. And, of course, is a very useful overall buff for the entire team. Otaku looking for maybe possible steal here. Goes for it, but a little late to the draw, unfortunately. Of course, it is extremely hard to take Dragon from a jungler who wants it. Seeing Jean clearing out some words there. At least I think he was clearing out the word. I'm not 100% sure what he was doing. He is opting to invade a little bit, but they know he's there. But nothing is going to come. Spectre just dropping a ward. That is going to go down. How is everybody doing in lane? Currently, Sacred is winning the CS war by about 15. He is definitely trying to utilize that ranged advantage. In the jungle, Jeem is out CSing Treebeard, but Treebeard has been ganking more. The gold's probably about even there. If I had to guess. I'm not 100% sure on that. Let me check, I guess. Yeah, it's pretty close to even, with Treebeard actually having a slight lead. There's red buff going over to Treebeard. He is going to have to back probably after he takes these Krugs. He has no mana and very low health. In the mid lane, despite the roam from NCLG We Trust, he's actually has a kill and a CS as well. And he's actually ahead by a 10. So the Otaku not doing as well as he wants here. He's a little behind. But it'll be interesting to see how well he plays Syndra. We've had a lot of very good Syndra play here at Reverie these last few weeks. Probably the last couple of months even. Ooh, Spectre missing the first Shadow Dash of the game we've seen. He's actually getting dived on a little bit. No, Sacred is not opting for the dive. He's just continuing to poke. He's actually doing a lot of damage. Oh, that is going to be a gank. As Jeem using the Ragnarok to prevent the CC. He managed to pick up a little Groot. He's trying to get Manbar Horsepick. He's going for the dive. There's the exhaust. He's probably going to go down to the... Nope, he's not. He barely gets out of range of the turret in time. So that is a double kill going over to Jeem. Actually, I lied. It's a single. Kenji picked up the other kill. Still, though, a double kill to the side of 20-minute notifications. That helps even up the ganks from earlier. Little Group actually might have been able to get away too, but he had flash and heal, but he did not use them. Maybe he didn't have them during the fight. I'd have to go back and check. Ooh, Spectre. Shadow Dash is a little poor, but he has the Spectral Cows now, so that's going to help a lot with him staying in this lane. Because he is getting abused a little bit. The CS lead is steadily growing. And there is a gank from Treebeard from the distance. There's the Entomb. That is going to lock up the Otaku. Surprise, it's a horse. else is going on? We didn't really get a chance to talk about it, but in the bottom lane, Little Group has the CS lead. But there's a good shadow dash by Spectre. He's able to actually lock Sacred Strike under the turret for a little bit. Tries to get out of range of the snare, but unfortunately he still doesn't quite get what he wants. He's going to have a still continuously difficult time with Sacred until he gets his items. There's Jeem. He's diving right onto Treebeard, popping that Ragnarok, trying to get the chain axes, but the axes will not be enough to slow down Hecarim. Hecarim's just going to walk away. He does have those swiftness boots. Sacred Strike is eating a lot of damage. He's actually quite low now. He has to be really careful here. He's actually steadily using those auto attacks to proc the Thunderlords. He's popped his last biscuit. There's the Shadow Dash. All that damage pretty much healed back up, though. And here comes Jeem. He's sneaking into that top lane brush. He's seeing how aggressive Spectre is. And they might be able to punish him for it. But Spectre thinking about backing, maybe. Jeem actually has quite a bit of health. He has that Bambi Cinder. He's working towards the Cinder Hulk, actually. There's the Ghost from Jeem. He's going right on in. Sacred's the one taking the turret, though. He's not able to land the snare, but Jeem is still able to pick up Spectre. Very nice dive. That actually is going to hurt Spectre a lot. He needs a little bit of help up there, I think. He is a Shen, though, so he's not looking to win the lane anyways. It doesn't make sense. He's opting for Mercred. Ooh, excuse me, I yawned a little bit. I might need to get a drink after this. So Jeem is picking it up. He's actually managed to get a couple of really good ganks in so far. He's ganked less than Treebeard still, though, but he's shown that he is not slacking. With that CS lead, it actually probably has more gold now as well. Yeah, and there's that Cinderhulk, so he is opting for a more tanky route. And we're looking maybe Black Cleaver. I'm not sure what the double long swords are for just yet, but Black Cleaver is definitely an option. That is going to be Drake respawning. It's another Infernal Drake. And there is the ward that is in the pit is going to go down. Using the axe to proc the dragon. It's actually going to force Treebeard out of the pit. They're not quite ready for dragon yet. Spectre still has his teleport along with his ult, and so does Sacred Strike. Well, Sacred Strike always has his ult practically. This is, what, 20 second, maybe 25 second cooldown if I remember correctly? It's short for an ultimate. To be fair, it's not an actual ultimate. Tiamat is definitely, you're right, it could be a Tiamat. I keep forgetting they took Pickaxe of that recipe ages ago. That's what I get for not playing as much as I should. Both Black Cleaver and Tiamat could fit into the build. That is going to be Drake's actually started earlier into it. That is second Drake going over to Reverie Esports. That's going to help a lot. That's a nice big boost to their attack power. But Jeem is hanging around that top side. They're going to take away that red buff. Well, Sacred Strike using the shield to try and get boosted forward, but the Krug is in the way. Not that the Q would probably do too much damage to Spectre nowadays, but he is not going to be able to handle both of them. Those axes are going to do a lot of damage because he has no armor currently. There's the Ragnarok, and Jeem is just going to dive right on in, and no fear, using the Ghost to get out of turret range. There's Member Horsepig with another Flash ultimate. The exhaust, though, is actually going to force a flash from Chingbear and Ken GG. Chingbear using the exhaust onto Little Groot. Now Little Groot actually forced to flash and heal. And there's the teleport from Sacred. Oh, there's a hook from Ching. Lands right onto Man-Bear Horsepig. That's going to be a kill going over to tournament notifications. And now CLG We Trust is in trouble. Was in trouble. There's the ultimate from Spectre. It keeps him alive just long enough for that Q to pick up a triple. That's going to be the lead going back over to Reverie Esports. It's a 3-for-1. Though pretty much every summoner in the game was used there, with the exception of the junglers. And Sacred didn't use his flash either. Oh, they were so close to killing NCLGB Trust, but then the Spectre Shen Shield came out of nowhere and saved his life. I do believe he owes him a beer now. Or soda, or whatever he drinks. That is going to be the first turret of the game for Reverie Esports going down. They're actually they were 2 turrets behind, now they're 1 turret behind, so they're catching up. They're getting what they need done. And Spectre CV now with the Bammy Cinder, so he's going to have a little more wave clear. That will help him immensely. And somebody just knocked at my door. I'll be right back. Give me 30 seconds. And we're back, and NCLGB Trust is in huge trouble, barely alive. There's Sacred getting locked up by a taunt, though. Ooh, Chingbear trying to get a nice little hook onto Treebeard. Treebeard able to step out of range with that speed. Sorry about that. That was just a neighbor at the door. Wanted to know something. It was nothing, though. There is Manbear Horseback getting hooked. But there's not much follow-up. Not a lot of follow-up that you would want to put onto a Braum anyways. But little Groot taking a lot of damage. He's about half health. He has the Ghost Blade, though, so he's going to be able to burst out a lot of damage if he uses it. But Kenshiji also has Ghost Blade. Interesting. Seeing Sacred Strike has finished that Morel Nomicon. He's actually probably finished it for a while now, but I'm not 100% paying attention to items right now. But he is working on his next big item, which could be a lot of things, because usually our draws in a lot of item builds. Ooh, Bear trying to get another. There's a nice little ultimate, though. There's going to be 3 people getting picked up. The Jeem is a monster. He's able to lock down NCLGB Trust. Now Manbear Horseback's in a lot of trouble from the Otaku, but he's ignoring Little Groot, who is doing a lot of damage. But here comes Sacred Strike from the side, able to do enough burst that lets the Otaku kill him. And yes, you're right, that is the Hydra route, as he obviously built Tiamat. And now he's actually finished Titanic Hydra. So he's going to have quite a bit of AoE damage if he continues to build health, which will make him increasingly difficult to kill. So that was a pretty even fight, maybe a little bit in favor of a team who I need to actually go back and watch the entire thing. Still, though, it's still an even game. Despite the kill difference, there's actually a gold lead for the side of 20-minute notifications. And that is probably from the CS difference in that top lane. And in the jungle, we're actually seeing that Jeem is a powerhouse. He's 20 CS ahead of the Treebeard, and he has 4 kills and 2 assists to the 1 kill, 1 assist. And latest Intuitive Trust getting CC locked. He's using the Entomb on himself. He's healing up quite a bit. Here comes Manbear Horsepick to try and save him. But he kind of dashes right into a hook. But here comes Spectre with the Shen ult. You do see that 20-minute notifications just back off after that. We're actually seeing Dragon is going to be up in 30 seconds. Is Reverie Esports going to lock down a 3rd Dragon? They're positioning for it. Here comes Treebeard from the side. He has his Trinity Force now and some armor, so he is going to be a little more durable, and he's going to be doing a lot more damage. Well, we're seeing 20-minute notifications just pushing right on in. They take out the pink ward on the Dragon. Jeem is terrifying. Nobody really wants to fight him right now. And with good reason. They had 3 people on him earlier, and he was able to still manage to pick up a kill there in that close-range melee. That is Treebeard getting CC locked to try to use his ult to get out, but he dies before it even activates, really. Here comes the curtain call. That is going to be Man Horse Pig going down. He gets hooked up. He tries to get out, but he's not quite able. Here's a little group from the side. He has that Black Cleaver. Those Black Cleaver props are going off. He dives right on into Kenshi. Flashes over the mine, but he is going to get CC'd up. Oh, he managed to pick up another kill, though. He's going to get away, probably. Wow, Spectre CV with the save. Comes in with the dash. That is Little Groot saving the day. That fight almost went extremely badly for them, but he heroed it from the side. And with Spectre CV also coming in back into the fight, that was important. That was good. Certainly not what 20-minute notifications was expecting. There's a pink ward going back down. They're trying to get in position for this dragon. They really want it. But Little Groot has extremely low health. But NCO just is not afraid to tank. But here comes Manbear Horsepig to tank those shots. He is positioning with the shield to make sure that the dragon cannot be taken. But that is going to be third dragon of the game going over to Reverie Esports. But with all those kills, it's still, they've actually managed to take the gold lead back, though it is still small. It's less than 1,000. It's pretty close, though, to be fair. And his Gene picking up another health item, a Giant's Belt this time. So probably Dead Man's Plate, if I had to guess. That just makes the most sense on an Olaf. He loves the movement speed, loves the slow that when you get that 100 momentum. Overall, a very, very good item on a character like Olaf. Speaking of, because Treebird does have that chain vest, he could also go for Dead Man's Plate. And we are seeing Spectre CV has finished his Sunfire Cape, so he's going to have a much better time at clearing those waves in the top lane. There's Jeem using that Raptor buff to try and clear out this ward. But he is going to get engaged on. He's popping the Ragnarok and the Ghost to try and get out. He is so close. He does get picked up by the culling. Not quite able to outrun bullets. There's a dive coming in from Treebird. He's diving right on onto the turret, onto Bear. Bear gets the hook onto Manbear Horsepig, but that is going to be Otaka going down with the Entomb and from some burst damage from Groot. And that's going to be the mid turret going down, and it evens the turret score up. Reverie Esports is positioning for a possible Baron. They do have 2 kills. Actually, I lied. They have 3 kills. I forgot that Jeem was picked up way earlier than that. But here comes Sacred Strike from the side. He's going to get stunned up by Winter's Bite plus Little Groot. But Little Groot is doing so much damage. And that is going to be Baron going to Reverie Esports. They have taken every single secondary objective this game so far. With the exception of poor Rift Herald. Rift Herald's getting ignored again. So he goes back home. He just wanted friends. But that is going to put Redbird in a pretty good position. They have all 3 dragons. They have Baron. And with the Baron buff, they're going to very easily be able to push up this mid. Or basically any wave they want. Spectre has the Spear Visage now, so he's going to have a much, much easier time dealing with Sacred Strike. As he tries to split push or keep pressure in the lane. He doesn't necessarily need to split push. Still seeing Redbird trying to gather up in the mid. There are some pings going down. Little Groot's a little late at the party. He's so far had an excellent game. He's 11-2. And that is going to be that top lane turret going down with the Shadow Dash from Spectre not quite landing. But there's a dive onto Ken. Ken manages to cleanse out of the knockup, or the knockback. That was interesting. But that was still not enough. He melted under that pressure. So much damage just dumped onto him. So that is going to make it a nice little easy push for Redbird. Ooh, Bear trying to use the hook to see if the claw was taken, but the claw was not taken. So the hook, of course, hit nothing. But that one wave did about half damage to that turret, so Redbird's in a very good spot here. Tournament notifications, not so much. They're in huge trouble here. Ken TG is going to be respawning soon, though. So if they can get a pick, But we are seeing that Redbird is going to be playing it safe and back off a little bit. Looks like Treebird's going to go ahead and head to that bottom lane to split push a little bit. He's pushing the wave up to the turret. Here comes the rest of his team. They have a huge wave now. But here is all of 20-minute notifications to stop this push. Still, that drops the turret down pretty low. It's almost half. But that is going to be Chingbear getting CC locked and melted. He has opted for... Oh man, I've completely forgotten the name of the item because it's literally never built. I know what it does. It's a team-wide movement speed boost. I just don't remember what it's called now. Oh, I'm going to cheat and look. Talisman of Ascension. I had Ascension in my head, but I didn't have Talisman. But that is going to be a dive on the inhibitor turrets. That is going to be 2 kills getting picked up. Jeem and the Otaku just kind of melting under that damage. And with no more minions, they are still going to take this turret as Treeber getting hit by Curtain Call. Here comes Spectre's ult, though. Who Curtain Call managed to land onto last hit landing on wow, I'm getting tongue-tied. Landing on NCLG We Trust. That is a name I cannot say properly. But it is not enough to kill NCLG We Trust, but it is going to be Spectre going down. Still, though, that is an inhibitor down at 26 minutes. Next Dragon is going to be up in 30 seconds. It looks like it's a Infernal Drake. I can't quite tell from the icon being kind of lopsided as such. But another Infernal Drake would be a huge boost to the damage output. To be fair, they already have extremely high damage output since they have 2. And it's going to be blue buff being donated into CLG We Trust. Yeah, that is definitely an Infernal Drake. It's what, 24%? That sounds high, but that is... And CLG just getting CC locked. He does go down. But that is still going to be Dragon going over to Reverie Esports again. They have full control of that Dragon. But that is going to be 20 notifications. Take this opportunity to take that mid turret. They have a little bit before that that big super mini wave hits their base, so they're able to looking to take some objectives while NCLG We Trust is down. Well, he's certainly not all of the team of Redbird. Oh, there's going to be Manboard Horse, but getting hooked again. He's forced to flash. Here comes Curtain Call. Kenji trying to do some damage from range. There's the last shot. It does hit Spectre, but Spectre is quite durable now. Here comes NCLG We Trust. He has respawned. He has his items. Working towards what I imagine is a Void Staff. Still a very nice play by 20-minute notifications. They were able to take 2 turrets before those super minions were able to reach their base. So now they're going to have to take some opportunity to back and buy, I imagine, and then prevent their Nexus turrets from going down. Oh, that turret's taking a lot of damage, though. And to be fair, those turrets do regenerate, but I don't know if they're going to have enough time to regenerate to full before the next waves come in. Looks like Redbird's taking this opportunity to try and to push on this top side. That top turret is the last secondary turret that is currently up. We're seeing Spectre is slowly pushing that wave in. And it's going to be blue buff stolen away from 20 minutes. And Redbird taking this opportunity to try and... Yeah, that's it. They're doing exactly what I thought they were going to do. They're going to push right into that top side. Take advantage of the super minions on the bottom side. There's 50 seconds for the next Baron. Whether or not they need it remains to be seen, but they're in a really, really good spot. They're actually only 6k gold ahead. And that is going to be Little Crew getting hooked, but there's 0 follow-up except for a little bit of Syndra abilities. Little Crew with that Bloodthirster is quite durable. There is the Talisman of Ascension, but there's going to be a disengage from Redbird. They're going to continue to just push these turrets in while the super minions do work. That is actually one Nexus turret going down. And they're going to dive this turret with Man-Bear Horsepig tanking it. Pretty durable. Got a nice big health pool. And with that turret going down, they're actually positioning for Baron now. Baron is live. Dropping some wards down. They might try an ambush, possibly. Not 100% sure what they're going for just yet. Seeing Sacred is going down to the bottom side to try and stem the tide of minions, while the rest of 20 minutes tries to push in towards Baron. Redbird is not quite doing it, but they're positioning for an engage here. There's a dive over the wall from Treebeard, but that is a Kenchichi getting locked down. He's cleansed. That is going to be Chingbear going down himself. Now, Jeem trying to do his best in that back line, but he does eventually go down. Treebeard is next up in line. He does get picked up by Kenjiji. Inspector trying to do his best to pick up Kenjiji, speaking of. Ooh, a nice pushback by Otaku. Locks up Little Groot. Little Groot's in a lot of trouble. That is him going down. But now he and Spectre are in trouble. And it's going to be Man-Bear Horsepig and... Now, Spectre looks like he is fine. But while that was happening, NCWG We Trust was backdooring. He's able to pick up that turret. And now he's working on the Nexus. He is able to pick up a double. And now he's working... Oh, he can't... The inhibitor came up. So not quite able to finish the game. But still. Takes out that last turret. Takes down 2 members. Puts more gold in his pocket. And you see Sacred and Chingbear doing their absolute best to try and keep these minions from killing the inhibitor. There's a lot of minions. But here comes Jeem with his AoE to help save the day. And now they need to rotate to the bottom side to save it, because it is dropping as well. Excuse me. Still, though, that puts Reverie Esports in such an amazing position. They may have lost that top fight, as it were, but that was definitely worth it for CLG to just sneak into the side with a teleport and give some love to the Nexus turrets. Turret, I guess, singular, because the other turret was already down. But that is going to be them working on Baron. Here comes Jeem from the side. They are pinging it. They have a pretty good suspicion that it is happening. There is NCLG We Trust respawning. Jeem and Treebeard are going out a little bit, but can Jeem steal it? He cannot. It is going to be secured by Treebeard, but Jeem going full ham onto Little Groot. He is going to go down, but there's Man-Bear Horsepig. He is super low. He does go down. Treebeard is going to get hooked up by Chingbear. He is going to go down himself. Spectre wisely deciding he is going to go ahead and disengage with a Shadow Dash over the wall. So that is a 2-for-1 going over to 20 minutes, but they lost Baron again. And now that is Dragon coming up in 10 seconds. Is it... I imagine it's Elder Drake, but I can't recall when that exactly spawns, or the mechanics behind it spawning. But there is a ping on the Dragon. It is not. It is actually a 5th Dragon before Elder Dragon, which is the first time we've seen one here, which is why I wasn't sure. But it is going to be a Ocean Drake. That's quite a few dragons. Yeah, 24% attack damage and ability power is huge. Makes pretty much their damage output coming out of Redbird extremely dangerous. And if they pick up an Elder Drake, it's going to be just even crazier. But 20 minutes still could possibly take this game. If they can get a full team wipe and they have all of their members, they might possibly be able to just go straight down the middle and win the game. It's not over until the Fat Lady sings. Sing Spectre working on a Zerat portal. We've seen a lot more of that recently. It disappeared after a while after they did some nerfs to it, but now it's coming back into favor. And we're seeing Redbird is going to take this opportunity to push that bottom side. They want that inhibitor back down. Because while that inhibitor is down, it makes Baron plays a lot easier. And we're seeing Spectre is going to be doing the Shen things and split pushing that top side. And Sacred is not going to stop him just yet. There is a huge engage coming out of there. There's lots of movement speed. Jeem is diving right on him with a Ragnarok. He's working on Little Groot. Little Groot is probably going to go down. There's a flash, though. He's able to get out. Man-Bear Horsepick taking that calling. That is going to be a double going over to NCLGB Trust. Some more movement speed from Karma trying to disengage, but Sacred Strike is going to get locked up. Here's a triple going over to NCLGB Trust. There's the Claw. Kenchiji is not going to be able to go. He doesn't have any movement speed. He does use the Cleanse. Possible pentakill? No, there's no way. It's going to be the ace going over to Treebeard. Super ballsy play by 20 Notifications, but unfortunately, they were not able to get a single soul there. And that's going to be the game going over to Reverie Esports. That'll be them moving on into the finals to face off against... I'd have to double check. Give me a second here. Refresh the bracket. This all depends, of course, that the other match has finished. They started later, and it has not finished. But they will be facing off against the winner of Team Permafrost and Supernova Gemini, two teams that have been here before. So it'll be interesting to see who takes home the championship for this week. For those of you who don't know, this finals is a best of 3, whereas the rest of the matches are a best of 1. And that is going to be us taking a small, tiny commercial break while we wait for the other match to start. Once we are into Champion Select, we will be back. Don't go anywhere.
dream too much. I tell myself that I can't stop. We could see clearly now. We could see clearly now. That I can stop. We could see clearly now. We could see clearly now. We could see clearly now. Clearly now. Clearly now. We could see clearly now. We could see clearly now. We could see clearly now. I smoke too much. I drink too much. I tell myself that I can't stop. We could see clearly now. 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 Clearly now. Clearly now. We could see clearly now. We could see clearly now. We could see clearly now. That I can't stop. We could see clearly now. We could see clearly now. Can't stop. We could see clearly now. We could see clearly now.
like disconnect from from the scene, just the race. Like, and it's a race that I've created in my head, you know. But you have to step away from it.
And we're back! Sorry about the delay, guys. We had a bit of some issues that were being solved. So, we're back. This is the... Should I have music? I should keep music on. Hold on. There we go. We can adjust the volume if it's too loud. This is the finals versus... we have Reverie Esports on the blue side, and we have Supernova Gemini on the red side. This is a best of 3. Bans are actually happening pretty quickly here. We have Echo, Graves, Rek'Sai. So that is 2 junglers. I guess technically Echo could jungle, but we've only seen it a handful of times here at Reverie. And that is going to be Lucian being locked in. Little Groot had a really super strong game on Lucian this last round. See, he did quite well. There's that one fight where where the rest of Reverie had been pretty much almost wiped out. There was only him and Spectre left on Shen. And Groot just comes from the side with the calling, gets Black Cleaver stacked on a bunch of people, and then flashes over a Jhin mine to basically finish off Jhin, and actually ends up with a quadra kill with some help from Spectre. He did quite the game, so it's not a terrible ban at all. Unless, of course, there are other huge threats, because we did see quite a few bans targeted at Treebeard last game. At least I think they were targeted him, because they were jungler bans. And this is going to be a Janna and a Shen ban to finish out the ban round. So without Shen, what is Spectre going to play? It'll be very interesting to see what goes on here. Ooh. Sorry, I'm stretching a little bit. I've been sitting down all day. I need to get up and walk around some. And it's going to be Elise, who was banned out last time. So it's not going to be Hecarim this time around for Treebeard, which he had a pretty good game on Hecarim. He's doing quite a few ganks. And Abrachi, I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that correctly. Abrachi? Abracadabra, I don't know. He's hovering on Lee Sin, which is a character who we don't see as much anymore. He's just kind of fallen out of favor. And we are seeing another Jhin pick. He's currently being hovered. It would not be a surprise. And instead of Lee Sin, they're going to opt into lock in Braum. So that is their bottom lane locked in. It is a Jhin Braum for Cortians and Rakul. At least I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Rakul. Well, on the opposite side of the bracket here, not really a bracket, is it? It's kind of a... On the other side of the picks, we do see a Corki being hovered, so that could be Corki mid or Corki carry. Marksman, I should say, because carry is not necessarily always appropriate. But instead, they're opting to possibly go for the Karma again. That is a flex pick that can be taken mid, top, or support. And I mentioned it earlier, but possibly jungle, but it just simply isn't likely since they already have Elise. Unless they're, fooling us and that's actually an Elise mid or Elise top, which would be just silly. And yeah, they're going to lock it in. But they also have a Poppy, so that is likely Karma mid. Could be Karma support. We'll just have to see what else is locked in for their last set of picks. They still need a Marksman for sure. That's almost certainly Poppy top. We've seen Poppy support in the past, but it just isn't one of it's one of those things that isn't likely. What is Supernova Gemini going to round out the rest of the roster? The new character, Kled. Be interesting to see. We have not seen a Kled once in these tournaments. And now they're hovering on Lee Sin once again. But instead of Kled, we are going to see possibly Gangplank. There's also a Zac now being hovered. They can't quite make up their minds, but that is going to be it locked in. So that is going to be a Gangplank and a Zac. So that could basically, it could be Gangplank going mid or top. So they still need a solo laner to round out the rest of the roster. And we're seeing a hover on Ezreal and Teemo. And while it'll be really entertaining to see a Teemo being played, I don't think that is what they're actually going to lock in. And with that is a Syndra being hovered. Victor. So it's kind of pointing towards a support Karma. Nope. Ignore that. Now he's hovering on... No. So we're still waiting on... Looks like we have a little error on somebody's room page, so they're going to have to fix that real quick. That means we'll be stepping out of the lobby once these last picks are locked in, and we'll be remaking. It'll still be the exact same picks and the exact same bands. I'm going to make sure I take a screenshot to make sure that nothing fancy happens there. There we go. Having some leftover chicken for dinner. It's actually pretty good. Whew, man, I'm feeling kind of out of it tonight. Sorry for those of you watching. I'm just not doing as well as I was in the previous couple weeks, so I'm not sure. Maybe I just need more caffeine. Or I could just, spill my soda all over myself. That works too. Fantastic. Nope. I should probably change change the background. Looks like we have some issues. Hopefully these delays wouldn't be a Reverie tournament without delays. Sorry guys, this is a little unorthodox. And now I have hair on me. Here we go. Looks like everybody's ready. Delays everywhere. Oh man, I'm just getting more and more messages. People want to talk to me. Take this opportunity to get a drink. I'll be back in just a couple seconds, guys.
If it's silent in dismay, it won't break this feeling down. If I conquer this my way, I'd devour, I'd surround. If it hurts you just a little, then it heals you when it's done. Disappointment is the anchor, resolution is the sun. If it's silent in dismay, it won't break this feeling down. If I conquer this my way, I'd devour, I'd surround. If it hurts you just a little, then it heals you when it's done. Disappointment is the anchor, resolution is the sun.
Okay, so sorry about the wait, guys. Looks like Reverie Esports is going to go ahead and end up forfeiting for. So I don't know. So it looks like by Supernova Gemini is going to get the win by default. I sorry for the confusion. It's kind of an unusual night, and I wish we could have had the finals, but it looks like we're going to go ahead and cut it off for the night. Hopefully we can see everyone again next week. That is going to be Supernova Gemini. Which is it, Gemini or Gemini? Supernova G is going to be moving on to the buy-in tournament at the end of the month, along with the parent team Supernova. So hopefully we can have a better tournament next week. We're going to see the return of Octavian, so you'll get a little more consistent casting. And hopefully we don't have any more errors next week, though, to be fair, every week we have some level of errors, but this week has been kind of unusual. So on that note, that's going to be it, I guess. We're going to go and cut it off here. We'll go give a quick shout out to our sponsors. We have Battlefly, which is the service we use to run the tournament. And then we have... shoot, I've forgotten the sponsors. Sorry, I'm a little out of it. And then there's Law History app. Sorry, Law History app is basically na.op.gg or Law King, but on your phone. So it works on Android. It works on iPhone. It's very simple, very easy to use. And last but certainly not least, we have Vibby. Vibby is a kind of like you could call it a highlight creation website. I almost said service, but that's not quite correct. But you take a video, you put it on their website, and you use it to create highlight videos without actually downloading any software. So it's very easy to use, very simple. It's what we use to create our highlights. And with that, we're going to go ahead and cut it off for the evening, guys. Hopefully we have less issues next week. Like I said, you'll see the return of Octavian. He'll be back from vacation, assuming nothing goes wrong. It's Central America, who knows. And with that, we're going to go ahead and cut it off for the night. Thanks for watching, guys.